Good evening to all Nigerians. Good evening to all Tbcans in Nigeria. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all Tbcans all over the world, wherever you may be, and whatever time you might be all over the world. It's 6 o'clock Nigerian time. Today, Friday, 6th July 2018. I say welcome to another live broadcast. Today, Friday, the 6th of July 2018. I still remain my humble self, Taufik Adeniyi Ayla, another live broadcast, and I'm very happy and delighted to be here once again. Yesterday, we had a very serious discussion. I was on a live broadcast, and I actually did a very serious discussion and a matter of concern to all divisions, as in the need for our preparation and readiness for the info war that has started in Papua New Guinea. That was the message yesterday, and I want to believe that all divisions that watch that video or will be watching the video will see it as a turning point or as an eye opener for us to get prepared for the info war all over the world, for the info war in each of the countries where divisions are. So we need to get prepared and be ready for the info war. And the only tool that we can use to fight the truth, the only tool we can use to fight the injustice that is pervading all the country is the info war and its broadcasting. We can actually do that through broadcasting. And that is the more reason why I'm actually calling on all divisions to be ready and prepare to fight the truth, to be ready and prepare to fight the cabal, to be ready and prepare to fight the injustice and take back our rightful position in the financial economy. So I welcome you all to another live broadcast today, 6th of July 2018. We are going to be looking at another discussion today, which I think we will all need to at least grow and develop the Tbc community. We all have one or two things to really think about as far as Tbc community is concerned. So what we need is the fact that we have to be serious about what we are doing. There are two major things that I want to discuss today, and that is the more reason why I have to title the title of this video, though it is not on the topic for this live broadcast, but I want to believe that the best title for this video is the power of positive thinking. We have two major things that is affecting an individual, will be affecting a particular individual or a community if care is not taken. So one of those two things that is affecting the individual in life is our TS and what we call our BS. The TS is what I call the thought system, and the BS is what I call our belief system. So that these two major things is what we are going to look at today, and so we need to look at our thought system and our belief system. And because it is through the thought system and the belief system that most of those things, those our actions and attitude or behavior as a result, what our behavior, attitude, and action is as a result of our thought system and belief system. How do we now assist ourselves to be able to control our thought system, or to be able to manage our belief system? That is one of the things that I want to discuss today. That's one of the things I want to discuss today, and that is the more reason why I have to title the video "The Power of Positive Thinking." The power of what? Positive thinking. But before I actually go to the discussion proper, I would like to call our attention to the TBC blog that was just recently released this morning, yesterday. It was a TBC blog that was released yesterday, and it was a reminder on the send button. So, firstly, let me just share my screen and read the TBC blog to us. It is just on send button. So what we have is reminder all send button will be turned off for the tbc004.net wallet tomorrow. We are talking about 7th of July 2018. TBC admin has already sent us a blog dated 22nd of June 2018 that by 7th of July 2018, all send button in the old wallet, that is tbc004.net, will be turned off. And so the blog is just a reminder to every Tbcian that is actually doing transaction on the old wallet that by tomorrow the send button will be turned off and no transaction will be allowed from the old wallet tbc004.net. Admin has given us enough time to actually carry out transactions on the old wallet since the creation of new wallet, which is TBC009. So now so tomorrow is the deadline for transactions on the old wallet. So today is the deadline for doing transactions on the old wallet, and by tomorrow, the transaction on the old wallet, the send button on the old wallet will be turned off. So no transaction will be done from the old wallet. So for everybody that is doing transactions, it's just a clarion call for us to complete whatever we have to do today. Tomorrow, there will be no transaction on the old wallet TBC004. So let me just read and let me just read. As mentioned in this article below, dated June 22nd, 2018, admin will turn off all of the send buttons on http tbc004.net on July 7th. That was when the TBC admin finally officially announced the retirement of Santas. It's time to migrate now. If you haven't already done so, the end of migration is July 31st. So we want to wake members up to the fact time is running out on them. Log on to your Single Card back office and click on the migration button in the menu and follow the instructions to migrate. That is the pictures of how you can migrate that from the that when you have the migration menu, and you can click on the migration menu and follow the instructions. So everybody is already aware that by tomorrow the send button on the old wallet will be turned off. So admin has already given us enough time to do that. So I'm still going to that is that about that. That's that about that. So that is the recent blog, and it is just for every one of us to be aware and know that by tomorrow there won't be any transaction on the old wallet as the send button will be turned off. So back to today's today's topic, which I actually tagged as the power of positive thinking. The power of positive thinking. Let me read, let me share my screen so that I can read what we have. What we have. I can read what we have, and you can always see what. So I'm going to read this, and at the end, I will do an analysis of what we what the story, what the whole thing is all about. So the power of positive thinking. Yeah, positive thinking is a mental and emotional attitude that focuses on the bright side of life and expects positive results. Positive thinking is a mental and emotional attitude that focuses on the bright side of life and expects positive results. A person with positive thinking anticipates happiness, health, and success, and believes that he or she can overcome any obstacles and difficulties. That is the power. That is the strong belief in the in positive thinking. That is the strong vibe that's in the positive. That's the power of the positive thinking. Because a person with positive thinking anticipates happiness, health, and success, and believes that he or she can overcome any obstacles and difficulties. That is one of the best strong power of positive thinking. Because it's the mental and emotional attitude that focuses on the bright side of life and expect positive results. At every point in time, a positive thinker will always believe and be satisfied that yes, he or she can overcome any obstacles and difficulty anytime. Positive thinking is not a concept that everyone believes and follows. Some consider it as nonsense and scoff at people who follow it. However, there is a growing number of people who accept positive thinking as a fact and believe in its effectiveness. It seems that this subject is gaining popularity as evidenced by the many books, lectures, and courses about it. To use it in your life, you need more than just to be aware of its existence. You need to adopt the attitude of positive thinking in everything you do. That is it. That is the message. That is the ideology. That is look. When I start this video, I talked about our thought system and belief system, our TS and BS. Our thought system is our belief system is just an offshoot of our thought system, because it's our thought system that leads to what our belief system. So if our thought is always positive, our belief will always be positive, and our thinking will definitely be positive. So how does positive thinking work? The following stories illustrate how this power works. Let me read the story. Alan applied for a new job, but he didn't believe he would get it, since his self-esteem was low and he considered himself as a failure and unworthy of success. He had a negative attitude towards himself and therefore believed that the other applicants were better and more qualified than him. Alan's mind was occupied with negative thoughts and fear concerning the job. For the whole week preceding the job interview, he actually anticipated failure. On the day of the interview, he got up late, and to his horror, he discovered that the shirt he planned to wear was dirty, and the shirt he planned to wear was dirty, and the other one needed ironing. As it was already too late, he went out wearing a wrinkled shirt and without eating breakfast. During the interview, he was tense, negative, hungry, and worried about his shirt. All these distracted his mind and made it difficult for him to focus on the interview. His overall behavior made a bad impression, and consequently, he materialized his fear and did not get the job. That is one aspect of the story. That is one aspect of the story. Then Jim applied for the same job too, but approached the matter in a different way. He was sure that he was going to get the job. During the week preceding the interview, he often visualized himself making a good impression and getting the job. In the evening before the interview, he prepared the clothes he was going to wear and went to sleep a little earlier. On the day of the interview, he woke up earlier than usual and had ample time to eat breakfast and then to arrive the interview before the scheduled time. Jim made a good impression and got the job. Hmm. That's another story. Alan and Jim. What do you learn from these two stories? Was there any magic used? No, everything happened in a natural way. Alan, immediately the thought system, the CS and the BS does not tally, or was not in agreement with success, was not in agreement with brilliant performance on that day. He was like, yes, you actually lost hope that he can win, he can actually win the job. He actually got the job. So everything he was doing was totally against success of the or in the just in the interview. Everything that happens to him was just a step into failure, because he already had a pre-minded opinion that yes, he cannot get the job, that every other person is better than him. So he woke up late, he couldn't even eat, he couldn't all everything that happened, all the was actually against the achievement of that goal. So at the end of the day, he wasn't able to get the job. It was not that it's not good, but he had already failed from the onset. He had already made up his mind that he had the belief that he can't get the job. But Jim was also applied for the same job, but approached the matter in a different way. He was actually sure of himself that he's going to get the job. That is the difference between Jim and Alan. Alan he was not sure of himself. Alan has an inferiority complex that he cannot get the job, that the other people are better than him. So that is the thought system and the belief system is working against him, and that is why he woke up late. He couldn't even eat. There was he didn't even prepare very well for the interview, and that is why he lost his job. It is not that he is not good or that he's not qualified, but the CS and the BS made him actually not to have succeeded. So let me continue with the reading, because it is what we actually plan, it's what our thought system and belief system that we translate into our action and our attitude and action, and that is what we also translate into what the behavior. So in the TBC community, we have to definitely change our thought system and our belief system. Positive thinking is actually a way of life. With a positive attitude, we experience deep, pleasant, and happy feelings. This brings brightness to the eyes, more energy, and happiness. Our whole being broadcasts goodwill, happiness, and success. Even our health is affected in a beneficial way. With a positive attitude, we experience pleasant and happy feelings. This brings brightness to the eyes, more energy and happiness. Our whole being broadcasts goodwill, happiness, and success. Even our health is affected in a beneficial way. We walk the talk, our voice is more powerful, and our body language shows the way we feel. That is what I expect everybody in the TBC community to have. To have what we call a positive attitude. And if we have a positive attitude, these are some of those things that I just mentioned is what we will experience. We experience pleasant and happy feelings, which of course will give us more energy and happiness. We have what goodwill, happiness, and even success. And even with a positive attitude, our health is affected in a beneficial way. We walk tall, our voice is more powerful. Our voice is more powerful, and our body language shows the way we feel. Positive and negative thinking are contagious. We affect and are affected by the people we meet. In one way or another, this happens instinctively and is on a subconscious level through words, thoughts, and feelings, through body language. Is it any wonder that we want to be around positive people and prefer negative ones? Is it any wonder that we want to be around positive people and prefer to avoid negative ones? People are more disposed to help us if we are positive, and they dislike and avoid anyone broadcasting negativity. Negative words and attitude create negative and unhappy feelings, moods, and behavior. When the mind is negative, poisons are released into the blood, which cause more unhappiness and negativity. This is the way to failure, frustration, and disappointment. Look at this statement. Negative thoughts, words, and attitude create negative and unhappy feelings, moods, and behavior. When the mind is negative, poison are released into the blood, which cause more unhappiness and negativity. This is the way to failure, frustration, and disappointment. We don't want to fail in the TBC community. We don't want disappointment in the TBC community. So therefore, we must have what positive thought. We must have our B thought system must be positive. Our BS belief system must be positive, so that we won't have negativity and unhappiness. Positive thinking is right. In order to turn the mind towards the positive, some inner work is required. The attitude and thought do not change overnight. What attitude and change overnight, we have to work it out. We have to work the way to that positive thinking. We have to believe that yes, we can do it, because if I can do it, but I read about this subject, think about its benefits. In order to turn the mind towards the positive, some inner work is required. Since attitude and thought do not change overnight, what we need to do is to read about the subject, think about its benefits, and persuade yourself to try it. The power of your thought is a mighty power that's always shaping your life. This shaping is usually done subconsciously, but it is possible to make the process a conscious one, even if the idea seems strange. Give it a try, you have nothing to lose, but only to gain. Ignore what other people say or think about you if they discover that you are changing the way you think. Then another one is use your imagination to visualize only favorable and beneficial situations. Use positive words in your inner dialogue and when talking with others. Number five, smile a little more as this helps to think positively. Once a negative thought enters your mind, you have to be aware of it and endeavor to replace it with a constructive one. If the negative thoughts return, replace it again with a positive one. It is as if there are two pictures in front of you, and you have to choose to look at one of them and disregard the other. Persistence will eventually teach your mind to think positively and to ignore negative thoughts. That means we have to be persistent about our positive thinking. Even if the negative thoughts are coming in once in a while, you have to you have to forget about that one and think positively at all times. So that is what you need to do. Number seven, in case you experience inner resistance and difficulties when replacing negative thoughts with positive ones, do not give up, but keep looking only at the beneficial, good, and happy thoughts in your mind. It doesn't matter, number eight, it doesn't matter what your circumstances are at the present moment. Think positively. Expect only favorite results and situations, and circumstances will change accordingly if you persevere. You will transform the way your mind thinks. It might take some time for changes to take place, but eventually they will. Eventually they will. If you actually make it an habit to transform the way your mind thinks, fine, it might take some time, but you have to persevere. And it will take some time, but at the end of it all, it will eventually change. Another useful technique is the reformation. This technique is similar to creative visualization and can be used together with it. Can be used together with it. So that is what we are talking about. We are the only one that can actually change our BTS and our BS. Our resolve to actually think positively at all times would lead us to having a positive thought, and be able to ignore the negative thought. Anytime it comes to you, you have to replace it with talk, we have to believe, we have to actually change our belief system positively. We have to change our thought system positively in order to actually grow and achieve a better result and be happy, and we won't be disappointed if we change our thought system and our belief system. Our thought system and our belief system will go a long way in helping us develop the community and helping us grow the community faster. Because if I, as a division, believe in the concept of TBC, I will definitely work in favor of the concept and be able to develop and achieve the vision of the community, the vision and mission of the community because of my BS. So if I actually thought it, if I see my thought system is actually positive about TBC, and definitely I will believe that this TBC will definitely reach the goal that he promises, and he will actually achieve whatever promises he has actually the community is standing for. So that is that is very very important. It is very important for us at this moment because like I said earlier, because the cabal will want to derail us. The cabal will want to distract us. And you can see that Allah was actually distracted because of his thought system and belief system. That is why he was actually distracted. He couldn't, he was not able to do anything in line with success at all, and that is why he ended up failing because he has already believed that he's going to fail, that he's not going to achieve the result. So and Jim, on the other hand, believed that he's going to achieve the result, that he's going to succeed, and he was actually doing everything to succeed, and he was able to succeed. That is why I said our thought system and our belief system is what we need to work on in the TBC community. We have to be strong about our thought system. We have to be positive about our thought system. We have to be positive about our belief system. Everything that we are doing in the TBC community, we have to be positive about it. Any step that is taken by the admin, we have to believe it and be positive about it. That yes, it is every step taken in the right direction. That is what will help us in TBC community. Every step, every action taken by the TBC admin, we must believe that yes, it's a step in the right direction, and the end result would definitely be success for every one of us. That is what we have to believe and work on. Our belief system is very important at this point because we cannot afford to actually fail at this point. So we must actually believe that yes, we are going to succeed and we are going to succeed no matter what, no matter the threat, no matter the whatever anything that anybody is doing against the TBC community. The community is standing and we are going to succeed together. That is what we need to believe in. So every step that is taken by the admin, it must always believed to be a step in the right direction. And that is the only reason why we can always follow and succeed with the TBC admin. I want to employ everyone listening to me today that yes, as a division, we have to be positive about our thought system. We have to be positive about our belief system. So our TS and BS has to be positive. If our thought system is not positive, our belief system will not be positive because the belief system is an offshoot or a product of our thought system. And while our belief system, our attitude, action, reaction, and behavior is a product of our belief system. So if that is everything is linked together, and whatever we are doing now, we now have to be as a product of our belief system. If anyone that does not believe in the TBC community now, it is better and advisable for the person to leave the community so that it will not be a counter one or it will not be contagious to those that have a very strong belief in the TBC concept, vision, and mission. We have to change our TS and our BS. We have to change our thought system. We have to change our belief system. It has to be or the positive side, because that is the only reason why we can be happy, why we can be healthy, why we can be wealthy, why we can be successful, and why we can achieve whatever we plan to achieve. Whatever we plan to achieve as a community, our belief system must actually be in line with it. We must believe in that achievement and we have to achieve it. We don't really have, there is no two way to our belief system. Achieving success is what we must believe in. That is what we have to. So as a division, every division listening to me, we have to actually have that power of positive thinking because it is best for us at this moment. So that is my message, and that is the information that I have to pass across as a division. And I hope and everybody wants to believe with me that at this crucial moment, we need to be positive about our thinking. We need to be positive about our belief. We need to be positive about the achievement, about the vision and mission of the TBC community. The vision and mission of TBC, we have to be positive about it. Yeah, TBC is actually, the vision is to eradicate poverty globally, and we have to believe in that it is going to be possible and we are going to do it. It is doable and we are going to do it. It is possible. We're going to succeed with it. That is the message. That is what we need to be what. So that's what we will now tailor our action and reaction. Our That's what we tailor our action and reaction. Our actions and every step that we take will be tailored towards achieving that success that we plan to achieve, towards achieving, eradicating poverty globally, which is the vision, mission of TBC. Our vision is to actually give us abundance. So we have to believe in that, and that it is possible and that we can do it. No matter the threat, no matter the coercion, no matter any any step that the cabal wants to take to destabilize us, we don't have to be destabilized. We have to work with our vision, and the belief system must always be positive at all times. That is my message that for all division groups today, and I want to believe that everyone will have taken a cue. TBC at me, you have we salute your courage. You are actually directing us. We know every step that you are taking is in the right direction. Please go ahead and lead us to the right path. Thank you. And when I come your way again with another live broadcast, I still remain yours sincerely, Taufik Adeniyi Ayinla, signing out and say, God bless. Cheers.